My claws were shaking as I gripped the command chair. I had never felt fear like this before, not in 60 years of service, not in 1,000 battles. But now, watching the red lights flash across every screen on my bridge, I understood that my people were about to die. My name is Vera Talshen. I am the fleet admiral of what used to be the 7th Fleet of the Coalition of Sentient Worlds. I say used to be because at this moment I had only 11 ships left. 3 days ago, I had 200. The enemy was called the Vorthax Swarm. They were not like us. They were not like anything. They were living ships, grown in dark places between the stars, hungry for worlds. When they found a planet with life, they ate it. Not just the people. The trees, the oceans, the very air. They left behind only dust and silence. "Admiral, another ship is gone," said my second officer, a soft-spoken being named Muraka. Her voice was calm, but I could see her hands shaking on the control panel. The silver wing just exploded. No survivors. I closed my eyes for one short moment. The silver wing had a crew of 300. I knew the captain. She had 2 young ones waiting for her at home. Home. A word that meant less every day. "Show me the map," I said. The great screen above us lit up. I saw the shape of the galaxy, and I saw the red stain spreading across it like blood on white cloth. 43 of our worlds were already gone. Entire civilizations, millions of years of history, turned to nothing in just a few weeks. My own homeworld, Kellervath, with its beautiful crystal forests that sang when the wind blew through them, had fallen 6 days ago. My mate and my young ones had been there. I had not slept since. "Admiral," Muraka said quietly, "the Council is calling. They want your report." I took a deep breath and walked to the communication room. When I entered, the faces of the 12 Council members appeared on the screens around me. Each one represented a different species of the Coalition. Tall ones, small ones, some with scales, some with feathers, some with smooth skin. But all of them had the same look in their eyes tonight. The look of a people who had run out of hope. "Admiral Talshen," said High Speaker Alan, an old creature with deep blue skin and kind eyes. "What is the situation?" "Honored Council," I began, trying to keep my voice steady. "The 7th Fleet is destroyed. I have 11 ships. The enemy has thousands. Our weapons do not work. Our shields do not hold. Every time we break one of their ships, it grows back together within hours. We have tried everything we know. Nothing stops them." The council was silent. I could hear my own breathing. "How long until they reach the inner worlds?" asked another member. 3 weeks, perhaps 4, I answered. "After that, there is nothing between them and every coalition planet that remains." One of the council members, a thin creature with long fingers, spoke in a broken voice. "Then we are finished." "There is one more thing we have not tried," High Speaker Alan said suddenly. All eyes turned to him. "We have observed a small system on the far edge of the galaxy," he said. "A single star with one planet that holds intelligent life. We have watched them for many years but never made contact. They were too young, too violent. They fight among themselves without end. They have weapons that we threw away long ago before any of us were born. We quarantined them. We marked their system as dangerous and left them alone." "You mean the humans?" I said. "Yes, the humans of Earth." The room grew cold. I had studied humans in my training long ago. They were strange creatures. 2 legs, 2 arms, soft skin, short lives. But it was not their bodies that made them dangerous. It was what they did to each other. Their history was full of battles. They had built weapons that could break their own world. And now the Council was suggesting we ask these creatures for help. "Honored Speaker," I said carefully, "are you proposing we contact them?" "I am proposing we beg them." The words hung in the air like a blade. "If we bring them into this, we may win the war," Alan continued. "But we may also be opening a door we cannot close. Humans are unlike any species in the Coalition. They do not think as we think. They do not feel as we feel. Once they have traveled the stars, they may never go home again." "Better a living galaxy with humans in it," said another member, "than a dead one without." The vote was taken. It passed. The transmission was sent that same hour, carrying a signal across the empty space between stars, a cry for help, a last hope. I returned to my bridge with a heavy heart. I did not believe humans could save us. I had read the reports. They had only just begun to travel between their own planet and their small moon. Their ships were small and simple. Their weapons were crude. They were children compared to us. But children sometimes surprise their elders. 3 days passed. The Vorthak moved closer. We retreated and retreated, losing more ships every hour. I had 8 vessels left, then 6. Admiral, the humans have responded. I stood up so fast I nearly fell. What did they say? Mureka looked at me with wide, confused eyes. They said, yes, that is all, just yes, they are coming. I did not know what to feel, hope, fear, both perhaps. When? They say their fleet will reach our position in 4 days. 4 days? That is not possible. They do not have that kind of travel technology. Mureka checked her panel again. They say they have been working on it in secret. They say they have many things in secret. I sat back down slowly. 4 days. 4 days and the humans would be here. I did not know if I should pray for their arrival or pray they turn back. We continued to retreat. The Vorthak followed like a wave of darkness. I did not sleep. I walked my ship and spoke to my crew, trying to give them strength I no longer felt myself. I visited the ones who were hurt. I stood with the ones who were grieving, and I tried to remember what peace had felt like. On the 4th day, something strange happened on the long-range scanners. Signals appeared that did not match anything in our records. The shapes were wrong. The energy patterns were wrong. It was as if a new kind of ship had entered our space. What are we seeing? I asked. Admiral, said my scanner officer, I think it is the humans. I walked to the main screen. The images were not clear, but I could see shapes moving fast through the dark, faster than our ships could move, much faster. They were not in any formation I recognized. They flew in a way that looked wild, almost careless. Then the communication channel opened. A human voice came through, warm and calm and casual, as if the speaker were not about to face an enemy that had destroyed entire civilizations. Hello there, Admiral. Name's Commander Daniel Price, Earth Defense. We got your message. Sorry we took so long. Traffic, you know how it is. I did not know how to respond. Was he joking at a time like this? Commander Price, I said, I am grateful you came, but I must warn you. The enemy ahead of us is beyond anything your people have faced. I fear you do not understand what you are flying into. There was a pause. Then the human laughed, actually laughed. I could hear others behind him laughing too, not cruel laughter, something else, something I did not have a word for. Admiral, Commander Price said, still with that strange, warm tone. With respect, I don't think the enemy understands what they're flying into either. Now let's go to work. The human ships moved past our retreating fleet. I watched them go by on the screen. They were smaller than our ships, rougher. Not beautiful the way coalition vessels were beautiful. They looked like they had been built in a hurry, with mismatched parts, each one slightly different from the last. They looked like weapons, every single one of them. The Vorthak came into view on the long-range scanner, a wall of living darkness, thousands of ships, stretching farther than the eye could follow. The humans did not slow down. They did not form a defensive line. They did not even speak to each other on the open channels. They just sped up. Commander Price's voice came through one last time before the battle began. He was still calm, still warm, but there was something new in his voice now. Something I had heard in the voices of my own warriors long ago, before our people forgot how to fight. All right, everyone, he said, let's show them who we are. And then the humans opened fire. My name is Lieutenant Sophie Hart, and I am 26 years old. 2 months ago, I was flying training missions over the Pacific Ocean. Today, I am piloting a ship called the Falcon 8, 12,000 light-years from home, into the largest battle in human history. I should be scared. I am scared. but I am also something else, and I do not have a word for it yet. Ahead of me, through the front window of my cockpit, I can see them. The Vorthak. They look like storm clouds made of black metal, rolling through space, bigger than cities, bigger than mountains, and we are flying right at them. Commander Price's voice comes through my helmet. Falcon Squadron, you know the plan. Stay loose. Don't fly in patterns. They're going to try to predict us. Don't let them. I touch the controls of my ship. The Falcon 8 is fast. Very fast. The engineers back home worked for 2 months without rest to build the engines that got us here. They told us the engines might not hold together. They told us we might not make it back. We came anyway. Copy that, Commander, I say into my microphone. There are 47 ships in my squadron. Behind us there are 2,000 more human ships. Behind them the Coalition fleet watches, small and quiet. They do not know what to make of us. I can see the Admiral's ship on my side screen. The alien Admiral, Veritalshen. I hope she is watching. I hope she sees what we do next. Weapons free, Commander Price says. I pull the trigger. The Falcon 8 shakes as its guns open up. These are not normal guns. These are something new. The scientists called them accelerator cannons. They fire small pieces of metal, not much bigger than a person's finger, but they fire them so fast that the metal cuts through almost anything. No explosion, no energy beam, just pure speed turned into a weapon. The first Vorthak ship in front of me lights up with holes. Its thick hide, the hide that 8 Coalition laser fire for breakfast, cannot stop thousands of metal pieces moving faster than sound. The ship does not explode. It just stops. Its insides torn apart, it drifts dead. Around me, my squadron is doing the same. The black wall of Vorthak ships is suddenly full of gaps. They're reacting, shouts one of my squadron mates, a pilot named Oliver Brooks. Spread out, spread out. The Vorthak begin to shoot back. Their weapons are living things, strange and green and bright, firing beams of energy that melt everything they touch. But we are moving too fast, too wild. 1 second I am climbing, the next I am rolling, the next I am upside down, the next I am flying straight into a wall of enemy fire and then sliding sideways just before it reaches me. The humans who designed the Falcon did something smart. They made the ship able to turn in any direction at any time without needing to slow down first. The Coalition ships cannot do this. Their pilots always turn in wide, smooth circles. They fight the way a dancer dances. We fight the way a street fighter fights. Sophie, on your left, Oliver shouts. I do not look. I just move. My ship flips sideways and a green beam passes through the space where I had been 1 second before. I come out of the flip firing, and another Vorthak vessel goes quiet. 3 hours. That is how long the first battle lasts. 3 hours of madness, of flying, of shooting, of twisting and rolling and screaming and laughing over the radio. Yes, laughing. Because there is a strange joy in this, in doing something impossible, in being alive when you should not be. When the first wave of Vorthak breaks and begins to retreat, something no Vorthak has ever done in the history of the Coalition War, the radios go quiet. We sit in our ships, breathing hard, staring at what we have done. I count the ships in my squadron. There are 31 left. 16 of my friends are gone. 16 names I will remember for the rest of my life. But the Vorthak are running. The Vorthak who have never run from anyone. Good work, everyone, Commander Price says. His voice is rough now, tired. We're not done, but this round goes to us. Back on the Coalition command ship, I am later told, Admiral Veritalshen stood very still for a very long time after the battle ended. Her officers asked her what she was thinking. She did not answer for almost an hour. When she finally spoke, she said only 3 words. We were wrong. The next day, the humans do something even stranger. Instead of waiting for the Vorthak to attack again, we attack them. This has never been done. The Coalition has always fought a defensive war. They form lines, they hold territory, they try to protect their worlds. They have forgotten, or perhaps never knew, that sometimes the best way to stop an enemy is to go find that enemy and hit them first. Our scientists have built something new. It is called a gravity hook. It uses a trick of physics that the Coalition had discarded long ago as too dangerous. It lets a ship dive close to a star, use the star's pull to gain terrible speed, and then be thrown out the other side, going faster than any engine could ever push it. 300 human ships do this at once. They dive into a small yellow star near the Vorthak position. When they come back out, they are moving so fast that the Vorthak sensors do not even register them until they are already in firing range. I am in one of those 300 ships. My stomach feels like it is in my throat. The star's light washes over me, golden and terrible, and then I am on the other side, flying at a speed no human has ever flown before. The Vorthak battle group never had time to form up. Our ships tear through their center like a spear through paper. We fire everything we have. We drop new weapons the engineers just finished building, weapons that push energy into the Vorthak ships in a way that makes their insides go cold and stop working. An entire Vorthak battle group, destroyed in 12 minutes. I come out of the attack with tears in my eyes and a smile I cannot control. My hands are shaking so hard I can barely hold the controls. Oliver's voice comes through my radio, and he is singing, actually singing, some old song from back home about a river and a girl. We do this over and over. We invent new tactics every day. When the Vorthak try to copy us, we change again. They cannot keep up. They think like a single mind. One mind, no matter how large, can only think one way at a time. But we are not one mind. We are thousands of minds all working at the same time, all trying different things, all learning from each other. 2 weeks into our war, we have retaken 8 coalition worlds. Admiral Vera requests to meet me. Not me personally, but a human pilot, any human pilot. She wants to understand us. I am chosen because my commanding officer thinks I am polite. This is perhaps the only time in my life someone has said that about me. I dock with her ship. I walk through her corridors where tall, graceful aliens stare at me with wide eyes. I feel like a small, ugly, strange thing among them. They are beautiful. Their halls are like gardens. Their lights are soft. I reach the bridge. Admiral Vera stands to greet me. She is much taller than I expected. Her skin is pale silver and her eyes are large and dark, like pools of water at night. She bows her head, a coalition sign of respect. "Lieutenant Hart," she says. Her voice comes through a small machine that translates her words. "Thank you for coming." "Admiral," I say. I do not know what else to say. She studies me for a long moment, then she speaks. "Your people are winning this war. I must ask you something and I need an honest answer. How?" I think about the question. I think about all the pilots I have lost. I think about Oliver, who is still alive, thank goodness. I think about the engineers back on Earth, working 20 hours a day, sleeping on the factory floors, building ships and weapons as fast as they can. I think about the children back home, sending us videos and drawings every week. "Admiral," I say finally, "I do not think you would understand." "Try me." I take a breath. We have fought for our whole history. We fought each other. We fought our own world. We fought hunger and cold and darkness. We are very good at fighting because for a long time it was the only thing we were good at. When your message came, something changed. We did not see a problem. We saw a purpose. For the first time in our history, all of us agreed on something. We all agreed that your people should not die. Admiral Vera is very still. "So you fight for us?" "No, Admiral, we fight with you. There is a difference." She looks at me for a long time. Then slowly, she lowers herself to the floor, sitting on her back legs in what I later learn is the highest coalition sign of honor. "Lieutenant Sophie Hart," she says, "I have served for 60 years. I have met kings and presidents and high speakers, and I have never in all my life been as proud to stand beside anyone as I am to stand beside you." I do not know what to say, so I sit down across from her on the strange alien floor and we talk. For 3 hours, about our peoples, about our worlds, about the long road ahead. When I leave her ship, I know that something has changed, not just in the war, in the galaxy itself. The humans are here now, and nothing will ever be the same. My name is Dr. Leo Carter, and I have been at the edge of a nervous breakdown for 6 weeks. I am a xenolinguist. That is a fancy word for someone who studies how aliens talk. Until 2 months ago, there were no actual aliens to study, so I mostly wrote papers no one read and drank too much coffee. Now I am on a coalition command ship, sitting next to the alien fleet admiral, translating a war. Tonight I am watching the alien scientists try to understand us. They are studying human weapons. They are studying human ships. They are studying human minds, and they do not like what they see. Dr. Carter, says a scientist named Pelvin. He is a tall being with orange skin and 6 long, thin fingers on each hand. He is the lead researcher on the coalition side of the alliance. I have a question I have been afraid to ask. Ask, I say. Your weapons, they are better than ours, yes. In some ways, yes. They are much better than ours. Yes. And you developed them with no enemy to fight. You were alone on your world. You had no one threatening you. No one outside, I mean. You had only yourselves. I know where this is going. Dr. Carter, Pelvin says quietly, who were you building these weapons to use on? There it is. The question every alien has wanted to ask but has been too polite to voice. I look at him, at his kind, worried eyes, at the long, thin fingers that have never held a weapon, never needed to. Each other, I say. We built them to use on each other. Pelvin stares at me. He does not speak for a long time. Your own species, he says finally. Yes. And you still do this. Sometimes, less than we used to, but yes. He makes a sound in his throat. I later learn it is the coalition sound of deep sadness. I am sorry, he says. I am so sorry for your people. I want to explain. I want to tell him that humans are not only war. I want to tell him about our music, our art, our families, our love. But the truth is, he is not wrong to feel sorry for us. Our history is heavy. We carry it with us. The strange thing, I say, is that this heavy history is what is saving you now. Pelvin thinks about this. Yes, he says, I know, but I think that makes it sadder, not better. I cannot argue with him. Later that day, Admiral Vera calls me to her quarters. Her rooms are beautiful and simple. There are plants that I cannot name, growing slowly in clear bowls. There is music playing softly. It is the kind of music that makes you want to sit still and think about nothing. Dr. Carter, she says, I need your advice. Of course, Admiral. The Coalition Council is having arguments. Some of them are worried. They see your people winning battle after battle. They see the numbers. In 60 days, humans have pushed the Vorthak back farther than the Coalition pushed them in 6 years. They are afraid. Of the Vorthak. Of the humans. I sit down on one of her low chairs. I had expected this. What are they saying? I ask. Admiral Vera looks out her window at the stars drifting past. Some say that when the war is over, we should thank the humans and ask them to go home. They suggest we draw a line around your system and say, we do not cross it and you do not cross it. A promise of peace, kept by distance. And what do you think? She turns to look at me. Her dark eyes are tired but kind. I think I know what would happen if we tried that. Tell me. Your people would say yes. They would go home. They would not argue. They would build their own alliance with their own ships and they would spread among the stars on their own, whether we gave them permission or not. And in 50 years, we would look out and see a second coalition, one that was not ours, stronger than ours, and we would wonder why we ever tried to close a door that could not be closed. I nod slowly. She is right. What do you want to do instead? I ask. I want to open every door we have. I want to invite them in. I want to learn from them, and I want them to learn from us. I want a galaxy where we are not their teachers and they are not our soldiers. I want a galaxy where we are family. That is a big dream, Admiral. It is the only dream worth having. The next morning, something terrible happens. I am in the main laboratory, helping Pelvin study a piece of Vorthak material. It is strange stuff, half alive and half metal, always warm to the touch, always moving a little, as if it is breathing. Pelvin is explaining that the coalition has been trying for 6 years to understand how it works. Then the door opens, and a human scientist walks in. Her name is Dr. Emma Lowell, and she is a biologist from the Earth Defense Research Team. She carries a small case in her hand. "Pelvin," she says with a friendly smile, "I have something to show you." She opens the case. Inside is a tiny glass tube. In the tube is a drop of something that looks like water but shines a little, as if it has its own light. "We made this," Emma says. "We would like your opinion." Pelvin looks at the tube. "What is it?" "It is a way to end the war." The room goes quiet. I put down my tablet. I feel suddenly cold. "Explain," Pelvin says. Emma does. She explains that human scientists have studied captured pieces of Vorthak and found something important. The Vorthak are all connected. They share one mind spread across thousands of ships. That mind is strong, but it has a weakness. If you put the right kind of information into it, information that does not make sense, information that fights with itself, the mind cannot handle it. It will break apart. "What happens when it breaks apart?" I ask. "The Vorthak stop being one thing," Emma says. "They become many things. Each ship starts to think for itself. And without the shared mind telling them what to do, most of them will not know how to continue the war." Pelvin looks at the tube for a long time. "You have built a weapon that attacks the mind itself." "Yes." "Is this safe?" "For us, yes. The code only works on their kind of thinking. It cannot affect us." "And for them?" Emma meets his eyes. "They will still be alive, but they will not be the Vorthak anymore. They will be something new. Separate beings, each one alone, each one having to learn how to exist without the group." Pelvin is quiet for a very long time. Finally, he speaks. "This is a terrible thing you have made." "Yes." "It may also save millions of lives." "Yes." "Will you use it?" Emma looks at me, then back at Pelvin. "That is not our choice. It is the Council's choice. We made it because we could. We wanted you to know it exists." She closes the case and walks out of the room. Pelvin and I stand there for a long time, not speaking. "Dr. Carter," he finally says, "your people frighten me sometimes." "I know. But tonight they also impressed me. Not because they built this thing, but because they brought it to us first instead of using it without asking." I think about this for a long time that night. I think about how easy it would have been for the human scientists to simply use the weapon. No one would have known. The Vorthak would have broken apart and the war would have ended and everyone would have cheered. But instead, they walked into an alien laboratory and handed the weapon over for approval. They gave up their control over it. They trusted us to decide together. That is the other side of my people. The side the coalition is only beginning to see. We are not only weapons. We are also the ones who choose when to put the weapons down. The council meets the next day. The vote is close. In the end, they agree to the plan. But they add one condition. A human team must go with the weapon, not to attack, not to hurt, but to be witnesses, so that whatever happens in that dark place will be seen by human eyes as well as coalition eyes. The team is selected within 2 hours. I know some of the names on the list. I feel sick seeing them. One name above all others makes my stomach turn. Commander Sophie Hart, promoted 3 weeks ago for her work in the gravity hook assault. She is the one leading the mission. I find her in the docking bay, loading supplies into a small ship. She sees me and smiles, tired but bright. "Dr. Carter, come to wish me luck." "Sophie, this is a death mission, you know that." "I know what it is." "Why you?" She stops what she is doing and looks at me. Her eyes are clear and calm. "Because I asked, Leo. I asked first. I did not want anyone to have to do this if I could do it myself. I want to argue. I want to say she has done enough. She has already given more than anyone should have to give. but I know Sophie Hart well enough now to know that arguing is pointless. Come back, I say instead. I will try. Promise me. She smiles, sad and small. I will try, Leo. That is the best I can promise. Then she hugs me. A small, tight hug. And she walks onto her ship and the doors close and I stand alone in the docking bay, knowing I may have just said goodbye to my friend. The ships leave that night. 24 vessels, filled with the best soldiers Earth has, carrying a weapon that has never been tested on the real enemy, going into the deepest dark of Vorthak territory. Admiral Vera comes to stand beside me as we watch them disappear into the distance. They are remarkable, she says quietly. Yes. Dr. Carter, do you think they will succeed? I think about Sophie. I think about her calm eyes and her tired smile. I think about Oliver Brooks and all the others I have come to know. Admiral, I say, if they do not succeed, then no one ever could have. She nods. We stand there for a long time, two very different beings watching the same stars, hopping for the same thing. My name is Sergeant Marcus Ellis, and I am inside a living ship the size of a small moon. The walls are not walls, they are flesh. Dark red, wet, warm, poolsing slowly like the inside of a giant creature, which is exactly what this is. The Vorthak do not build ships, they grow them, and this one is the biggest I have ever seen. The Coalition calls it a queen node. It is the heart of an entire Vorthak group, connected to thousands of smaller ships through some invisible web of thought. We are going to break that web. Or we are going to die here. Probably both. My boots make wet sounds as I walk. Ahead of me, Commander Sophie Hart leads the way, her rifle held ready, her helmet light cutting through the dim red darkness. Behind me, 9 more soldiers follow in a tight line. 20 of us came in, 10 of us remain. The ship fights back. It grows guards that come from the walls themselves, things with too many arms and no faces. We have burned our way through 3 chambers already. Each one was worse than the last. Contact front, Sophie says. I raise my weapon. Ahead of us, the red corridor opens into a vast chamber. In the center of that chamber, hanging in the air, is the Queen. She is not a person, she is not a creature, she is a thing. A great sphere of poolsing, shining matter floating without support, covered in long, slow tendrils that wave like seaweed. Around her, the walls glow with patterns of light that move in time with her pulse. I can feel her. She is pushing against my mind, not with words, but with something heavier. A pressure, like standing at the bottom of the sea. Then she speaks, inside my head. Why are you here, small thing? I flinch, I hear her in my own voice, not my ears, my mind. Don't listen to her, Sophie says. She has felt it too. She will try to turn us, keep moving. We move forward. Around the Queen, more guardians begin to form, rising out of the floor, growing from the walls. We fire as we walk. Each one takes many shots. We do not have the time to stop and fight. We just push through. You are so small, the Queen says to me, so soft, so weak. How have creatures like you done so much harm to my children? I clench my teeth. Keep walking, Marcus, I tell myself out loud. We reach the base of the Queen. Sophie drops to one knee and opens the case. Inside is the device. It looks like nothing special. A small gray box about the size of a lunchbox with a single blue light on the top. This is the weapon. This is the end of the Vorthak, or the beginning of their next chapter, depending on how you see it. Rogers Hale, watch the entrance, Sophie orders. Ellis with me. The rest of you cover all angles. I kneel next to her. She opens the device. Inside, small lights begin to glow. The device needs 30 seconds to activate and then 90 seconds to send its code into the Queen's mind. 2 full minutes. In this place, 2 minutes might as well be 2 years. The Queen feels what is happening. Her pressure on our minds grows. She is not pushing anymore. She is clawing. I can feel her in my head, tearing through my thoughts, trying to find something she can use. She finds memories. My father, who died when I was 10. My sister, who I have not spoken to in 3 years because of a stupid argument. My ex-wife, who sent me a letter last week that I have not opened yet. all my regrets, all my shames. She pulls them up like weeds and holds them in front of me. Look, she whispers, look at what you are. Broken, alone. Why do you fight for these alien creatures? They do not care about you. They will throw you away when the war ends. Shut up, I say through my teeth. You are a weapon, nothing more. Your own people made you a weapon. Put down your rifle and rest, small thing. Let my children take you, it will be quick. 20 seconds, Sophie says. I see her face in the light of the device. Her eyes are wet. The Queen is working on her too, but Sophie's hands are steady on the controls. Then the Queen tries something different. She stops pushing. She goes quiet. I feel her retreating. For one moment, I think we have beaten her. Then the room explodes. Not with fire, with mines. 1,000 Vorthak ships connected to this Queen all turn their full attention on us at the same time. The pressure in my head becomes pain. I cry out. I fall to one knee. Around me, my squadron members do the same. One man, Private Chen, begins to bleed from his nose. Another, Corporal Walsh, drops to the ground and does not get back up. 10 seconds, Sophie says, still working, her voice tight with effort. The Queen's tendrils begin to move. They come down toward us, slow and heavy, reaching. Then something happens that I will never forget. Sophie stands up. She stands up in the middle of that pressure, in the middle of that pain, with tendrils the size of trees coming down at her, and she laughs. She laughs. It is not a happy laugh. It is not a crazy laugh. It is something else. It is the laugh of a person who has looked at the worst the universe has to offer and decided, you do not scare me. You want to know what we are, she shouts at the Queen. Her voice fills the chamber. I will tell you what we are. We are not perfect. We are not kind. We are not pure. We are a mess, you great big ugly thing. We are a beautiful, terrible, painful mess. And we are exactly what you need to worry about. She presses the final button on the device. The blue light turns bright white. The Queen stops moving. Her tendrils freeze in the air. Her pulse stutters. Then she begins to scream. Not with sound, with her mind. A scream so loud inside my head that I see white. I see my whole life. I see my mother, my father, my sister, the girl I kissed when I was 17, the dog I had when I was 8, every moment I have ever lived all at once. And then the scream stops. The Queen is still floating, but she is not the Queen anymore. The great shared mind, the thing that made the Vorthak a single terrible force, is breaking apart. Through my helmet communication, I start to hear reports. Outside, across the entire Vorthak battle group, ships are going still. Some are firing on each other. Some are drifting. Some are trying to flee. The hive is dying. What is being born in its place, I do not know. But the war as we have known it, is over. We did it, Sophie says, soft and tired. We actually did it. Then the ship begins to shake. Without the hive mind to keep it alive, the Queen node is starting to fall apart. The walls pulse and tear. Red fluid begins to pour from ceiling cracks. The floor beneath us trembles. Move, Sophie shouts. Back to the ship now. We run. I grab Walsh's body and carry him on my shoulder, not willing to leave him behind. Private Chen leans on Sophie. We fight our way back through corridors that are collapsing around us. The Guardians we fought on the way in are now frozen, lifeless, which is the one small mercy. We reach the docking bay where our ship is waiting. Pilot James Owens already has the engines hot. The doors are open. 6 of us make it inside. Sophie is the last to enter. But just as she reaches the doorway, a piece of the ceiling, the size of a car, falls from above. It does not hit her, but it lands between her and the doorway, blocking the path. Sophie, I shout. She looks at me through the gap. Her face is calm. Her eyes are clear. Go, she says. No, we can move it. We have time. No, we do not, Marcus. The whole ship is coming down. If you wait, none of us make it out. Sophie. She smiles at me, a small, kind smile. Tell them, she says. Tell them we were not monsters. Tell them we just knew how to be when we had to be. Then she turns away from the doorway. She runs into the collapsing ship, drawing the last of the Vorthak Guardians after her, making sure nothing follows us out. I scream her name. James Owens grabs me and pulls me back. The door closes. The engines roar. Our ship tears free of the dying Queen Node and into open space. Behind us, the giant Vorthak vessel breaks apart in silent, terrible beauty, scattering into the dark. Commander Sophie Hart is gone. The war is won. I sit in the back of the ship, still holding Walsh's body, and I cry. Not for the mission, not for the victory, for my commander, for my friend. Dr. Carter is waiting when we return to the Coalition fleet. He sees my face through the window of the docking bay before I even step off the ship. He knows. He does not need to ask. I walk over to him. I do not know what to say. "Tell me," he says. I tell him every word, every moment. The Queen screams, Sophie's laugh, her final words. I speak for a long time and he does not interrupt me once. When I am done, Dr. Carter is silent. He looks at the stars through the window. His face is wet. He does not wipe it. "She was right," he finally says, "about all of it." Admiral Vera Talshen comes down to meet us within the hour. She has heard the news. She stands in front of me and lowers her head in the Coalition way of deepest respect, held for almost a minute. Her officers behind her do the same. None of them say a word. When she finally looks up, she speaks, her voice soft and low. "I did not know her well, but I knew her enough. Your Commander Hart was one of the finest beings I have ever encountered in my life. The Coalition owes her a debt that cannot be paid." "She would have said she was just doing her job," I say. Admiral Vera's eyes grow sad. "Yes, I think she would have." News of the Vorthak collapse spreads across the galaxy in the following hours. Coalition worlds that had been under attack report that the enemy ships have stopped fighting. Some are fleeing. Some are sitting still. Some are trying to communicate, which has never happened in the history of the war. The Vorthak, as a single threat, no longer exist. What remains is a problem, but it is a problem that can be managed, not a horror that cannot be fought. Cheers go up on every Coalition ship, in every Coalition city. Across dozens of worlds, the peoples of the 12 species dance and sing and weep with relief. On the human ship, we are quiet. We remember our own. And I look at Admiral Vera, standing there with her head bowed for a human commander she met only twice, and I think, maybe this really is the beginning of something new. Maybe, after everything, something good can come from all of this. Maybe Sophie would have liked that. My name is Vera Talshen, Fleet Admiral of the Coalition of Sentient Worlds, and I am standing on the moon of Earth for the first time in my life. It has been 6 months since the war ended. The dust of this small, gray world is soft under my boots. Above me, the blue and white planet of the humans fills half the sky, so large and so beautiful that I find myself stopping every few steps to look at it. This is where they come from. This is the world that sent us its warriors when no one else would come. I do not think I will ever stop being amazed by it. I am here for a ceremony. In 2 hours, a memorial will be unveiled, the first of its kind in the history of this galaxy, a place where fallen soldiers of both the humans and the Coalition are honored together, their names carved into the same stone. A human delegation will be there. A Coalition delegation will be there. The speeches have been written. The cameras are ready. But for the next 2 hours, I have time for a private visit. I walk slowly across the landing field, my breathing slow and careful through my suit. The humans have built a base here, small and simple, but already growing. Soon they will have cities on this moon. The speed at which they build never stops surprising me. A figure stands at the edge of the memorial, looking out at the stars. I recognize him even from this distance. Dr. Leo Carter. He has grown thinner over the months. His hair has more gray in it than before, but he still carries himself with the same tired kindness. He turns as I approach. "Admiral," he says, and he smiles, a small smile, the kind he has now, the kind everyone who loved Sophie Hart has now. "Dr. Carter, thank you for meeting me here." "Of course." We stand together in silence looking at the memorial. It is not yet open to the public. The wall is long, made of white stone mined from this very moon. On its surface, names have been carved, thousands of them in the small, precise letters of human writing and in the flowing curves of coalition script. Each name is followed by a single small mark, a six-pointed star, the symbol the two peoples have chosen to honor their fallen. 3 points for Earth, 3 points for the coalition. I find the name I am looking for. It is near the top. Commander Sophie Hart. Beside her name in coalition script is a second note I asked to be added. It reads in my language, "She taught me what courage means." I look at it for a long time. Leo stands beside me, quiet, respectful. "I miss her every day," he says finally. "As do I." Sometimes I wonder if she knew that she changed everything. I think she did, Dr. Carter. I think at the end she knew. We walk along the wall. I read names as I go. Many of them I knew. Some I served with, some I never met. All of them I owe. "How is the council?" Leo asks after a while. I think about how to answer. Busy, many arguments, many new plans. Humanity's entrance into coalition membership has caused every old system to be rebuilt. Some of the elder members are tired. Some are excited. Most are, I think, simply confused. Because we are not what you expected. Because you are everything we expected, and yet also nothing we expected. Leo laughs, a quiet sound. That is the most human compliment I have ever received. We reach the end of the wall. Beyond it, a new section is being built. More stone is being brought in. More names are being carved. The memorial is not finished. I am told it will continue to grow for many years. There are still so many to remember. Admiral, Leo says, "Can I ask you something?" "Always." "When you first heard about humans before you met us, what did you think we were?" I consider my answer carefully. I thought you were a tool, a dangerous tool, something the coalition was going to have to use and then put away. And now, I look at him, at his kind, tired eyes, at the memorial behind him with his friend's name on it, at the stars above us where coalition and human ships now fly together in peace. Now I know you were never a tool, you were never something to be used. You were always what you are, a people, a remarkable, difficult, beautiful people, and we are fortunate every day we wake up that you chose to answer when we called. Leo's eyes become wet. He looks away toward the earth so he does not have to look at me. I pretend not to notice to give him his moment. We walk back toward the landing field. The ceremony will begin soon. I have been meaning to tell you something, Leo says. I have been asked to lead a new program, the Exchange. I had heard. They want me to oversee the movement of young humans to coalition worlds for study and young coalition citizens to Earth. 10,000 students each way in the first year, 20,000 the next, maybe 100,000 by the 5th year. It is a bold idea. It is Sophie's idea, actually. Or at least she suggested something like it once, in passing. I remember her saying we should teach our kids about each other before they grow up afraid of each other. She was wise. She was 26 years old. Perhaps that is why she was wise. She had not yet learned how to be small. Leo laughs quietly. I think that is the nicest thing anyone has ever said about a human. We reach the ceremony platform. Humans and coalition members are gathering. I see faces I know and faces I do not. I see Sergeant Marcus Ellis, now promoted to captain. I see Oliver Brooks, who was Sophie's squadron mate, now a commander in his own right, leading the joint fleet. I see the new High Speaker of the coalition, a young being named Tallier who took Alan's place when the old speaker retired last month. She smiles at me. She is a good leader. The council chose well. I take my place at the front. The crowd grows quiet. I had planned a long speech. It was carefully written, full of facts and numbers and proper words of honor. I reach into my pocket and take it out. I look at it. Then I put it away. I step up to the microphone. I had prepared a speech, I say, and the translators carry my words out to every being watching. on this moon and on every coalition world in the galaxy. But I will not read it. It was too long, and I do not think in the end it said the right things. The crowd waits. I have served the coalition for more than 60 years. I have seen many things. I have watched worlds fall and worlds be saved. I have stood before kings and high speakers and councils, but I have never had to find the right words for what I must say today. I pause, I look at the wall behind me, at all the names. When our message went out 6 months ago, we were dying. We sent our call for help to every civilization we knew, and most of them did not answer. Some were afraid. Some did not care. Some perhaps simply did not believe us. One civilization answered. They were not ready. They were not trained for a galactic war. They had never fought anything like the Vorthak. They had their own problems on their own world, problems we cannot even begin to understand. But when they heard our call, they came anyway. I can feel my voice shaking. I let it shake. It is the truth. They came in ships they built in a hurry. They came with weapons that made the rest of the galaxy uncomfortable. They came as strangers, and they fought beside us, and they died beside us, and they won a war that we had already lost. The crowd is silent. I see Leo in the audience looking up at me. His eyes are wet, so are mine. I came to this ceremony to say thank you, but thank you is not a strong enough word. I came to say I am grateful, but grateful is not enough either. There is no word in my language, or in any of the 12 coalition languages, that carries the weight of what I must say today. So I will say it in the language of the people who saved us. I take a breath, and I speak in the human tongue carefully, slowly, the way Leo taught me. We owe you our lives. The crowd does not move. Then slowly every human in the audience bows their heads, and every coalition member, understanding the moment, lowers themselves to the floor. Silver skins and orange skins and blue skins and brown skins, all bowed together, honoring those we have lost. When I speak again, I return to my own language. The coalition has voted. Humanity is now a full member of our alliance, with all the rights and responsibilities of every founding civilization. A new designation has been created, one that has never existed before, to mark the unique nature of the human contribution. From this day forward, Earth's people carry the title of guardians, not servants, not soldiers, guardians. A people whose strength protects, whose difference enriches, and whose choice to stand with us will never be forgotten. I look out at the crowd one last time. To my human friends, welcome. You are not our guests. You are not our allies. You are our family. We have waited for you, though we did not know we were waiting. And now that you are here, we are more whole than we have ever been. To my coalition brothers and sisters, I ask you to remember what this war taught us. We became peaceful, but we forgot that peace is not the absence of struggle. It is the result of struggle. The humans have reminded us of this. Let us not forget it again. And to those whose names are on this wall, to every soldier, every engineer, every pilot, every sergeant, every commander, every ordinary person who did extraordinary things on both sides of the alliance, we remember you. We will always remember you. Your names are not only carved in stone, they are carved in the future of the galaxy itself, and that future will be good because you made it possible. I step back from the microphone. The silence lasts for almost a minute. Then the applause begins. It is not loud. It is slow and steady, the sound of thousands of beings all showing respect together. It goes on for a very long time. After the ceremony, I walk back to the wall alone. I stand in front of Sophie Hart's name. I think about the first time I heard the humans were coming. I think about how I expected to watch them die in hours. I think about the laughter I heard over the open channels as their ships flew into the first battle. I think about how wrong I was. I think about how grateful I am that I was wrong. Leo joins me after a while. He does not speak. He just stands with me. Do you think she knew, he asks again softly for the second time today, that it would all work out, that what she did would matter this much? I think about Sophie's last words, as Marcus told them to me. Tell them we were not monsters. Tell them we just knew how to be when we had to be. I think she knew, I say. I think more than any of us she understood what her people were doing, what they had always been, and what they could become. Leo nods, he wipes his eyes. Admiral, he says, I am glad you were the one who answered the call. I am glad it was you on the bridge of that ship when our signal came through. I am glad your people responded, Dr. Carter. I am glad you were there to help us understand each other. Without you, this moment would not be possible. We stand together for a while longer. Above us, the stars drift slowly across the black sky. The stars that now carry human ships alongside coalition ships. The stars that a young human pilot named Sophie Hart flew through on her way to save a galaxy. I will tell you one more thing, I say, and then I will let us both go home. Please. When I return to my world tonight, the elders will ask me what I have learned about humans. They will want the short version, the honest version, the version I will tell their children, who will grow up in a galaxy where humans are normal, where humans are family, where humans are simply a part of the sky. What will you tell them? I look up at the stars. I think about Sophie. I think about Marcus and Oliver and Emma and every human I have come to know in these 6 months. I think about the thing I could never quite put into words, the thing that makes humans different from every other species I have met. I will tell them, I say slowly, that we asked for miracles and humanity came instead, and we discovered in the end that humanity was the miracle. That all this time, while we were building peace and beauty and careful civilizations among the stars, a small blue world was quietly raising the children who would one day save all of us. And those children came when we called. They came without asking for anything. They came because we needed them. And I will tell them this is what family means. Not that we are the same, not that we are equal in every way, but that when the dark comes, we answer each other. We always answer. Leo is crying now openly, not hiding it. I do not mind. It is a human thing, and I have learned to love human things. That is a beautiful thing to tell them, Admiral. It is only beautiful because it is true, Dr. Carter. We stand there for a long time, under the stars, in the silence of a world that has seen too much and has, against all odds, come out the other side. Then we turn and walk back together, toward our ships, toward our peoples, toward a future that neither of us could have imagined a year ago. A future that is, at last, bright. And somewhere in the great memorial behind us, a single name on a wall seems to watch us go. Sophie Hart, Commander, Guardian. The one who laughed at the dark and taught the stars how to shine again.